Hi, I'm Father Ben Berinti, the Director of Catholic Campus Ministry at the University of Central Florida. We enter this week into the first of our weeks of journeying toward the celebration of Christmas. This first week of Advent comes at a time when we have just celebrated our National Day of Thanksgiving, and we are already in the midst of many preparations for Christmas that don't attend to our spiritual journey. And so we hope that each week these videos that you'll be watching on our website for the Catholic Campus Ministry at UCF will help you in deepening your journey towards the God who is always journeying towards us. I'd like to begin this week's reflection by sharing a brief passage from the Gospel of Luke. And now your relative Elizabeth, who in her old age has conceived a son, and this is the 6th month for her who was barren, for nothing will be impossible for God. And Mary said, "Here I am, the servant of the Lord. Let it be with me according to your word." Mary sets the tone for us as we journey towards Christmas. What Mary allowed in her life was to open herself physically, spiritually, emotionally to the coming of God, the birth of God in her life. As the great German mystic Meister Eckhart once said, we all must be bearers of Christ. And that is really, I think, the challenge as we begin this first week of our Advent journey. Mary was the one who made space in her life, opened her life, made space for God to enter in. There are many things that are impinging on our life. Those of us who are students and here in our academic community, we're racing towards the end of the semester. Many projects due, expectations, and each of us, as we live our lives heading towards Christmas, find less and less space for much of anything. And here comes God, knocking at our door, looking for space. Mary becomes then the model for us as we begin this Advent journey. Mary is the one who made space in her life so that God could draw close to God's people. I think the challenge for each of us, not only throughout this Advent season, but especially here at the beginning of it, is to ask ourselves, how am I opening space? How am I making space for this God who loves us so deeply, but wants to find access to our life? We remember during the Christmas story that there was no room in the inn for the Christ child and his family. Will there be room in your life? Will there be room in my life as we approach the season of Christmas? Let us pray that in these days of Advent, no matter what is happening in our life, the joys, the sorrows, and everything else in between, that you and I find, as Mary did, the ability to say yes and to open up a sacred space in our life and our heart for the God who is drawing near. Join us again next week as we continue our journey toward the celebration of Christmas. Join us here at Catholic Campus Ministry as we move toward the celebration of Christ's presence among us.